You're listening to The Clarity Code on the Wake Up Radio.
Right. And for people, for the listeners, especially for the Art of Rising audience, because the people who have been rocking with you and you being on the Wake Up Radio, this is, this network is something that we started from the ground up, and it began with the idea, like, you have these dope conversations, or we have these dope conversations on the phone. It's like, oh man, I wish this could have been a podcast right here, right?
Right, right,
And so
right.
that was the idea behind it. It's like people having real conversations, and you see all the, what do you call it? You see all the, I don't know what you call it, all the flair people are doing with the podcasting right now. And it's important for certain conversations to be had as they're had, just like what we just experienced. Those were real conversations. Those were real people like us, just troubleshooting through life, and that's what, to me, that's a big part of what this is about: troubleshooting life and not being broken by life. And if a team can work out a small problem together without losing their ish, they can work out a big problem together without losing their ish. And so to me, that means everything in the world. I've, worked with a lot of different people, as you, I'm sure we all have worked with a lot of different people, and some people can't hang in the end of the day. And it's not it's not a criticism for me. I'm not criticizing them, but it's just like, oh man, like, nah, they can't hang.
Right.
So that's what, that's what we have right here. It's like we have a platform where, we can take this to the stars, literally, with what we're doing. And so that's what, you understand that, but it's really for your audience to understand that too. Like, check out on the Wake Up Radio. You know what I mean? It's like, see what we're doing here. This is a platform for us, by us, in every sense of the word. We're not beholden to Bezos. We're not beholden to Zuckerberg. We can say whatever the F we want to say, however we want to say it. Nobody's going to shut us down. Like, we don't have those same limitations that other people say, that other people have in the end of the day. So we can have conversations exactly how we want to have them. And for what we're doing, brother, with the Clarity Code, what we're doing, we can't be censored. You know what I'm saying? Censorship is not in alignment with what we're doing in the conversations that we are having and that we're going to be having in the future.
So important, especially with the information that we're talking about, because we're not talking about, wow, did you see what the MA awards and
Right.
VMA, is there VMA, right? The VMA
It's something
awards,
like that.
something like
What you
that, man.
said.
I don't watch that. Yeah,
What you said.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Right.
so it's none of that. None of, oh, did you see what Beyonce did? No, it's no.
No, we're not
It's not
talking
like
about.
that. Or even like, yeah, there's lots of hip hop people that we love, that
Mhm.
is intertwined into our culture as well. But we already know that they are on that different frequency. And
Right.
that type of information, that's just straight distraction. That's like pure mainline distraction from what's really happening. And
Right.
we're not doing that. We don't talk about that.
Right.
So that's why the name of the show is the Clarity Code. So we get clear on some things.
Right. Listen, there's a whole evolution going on right now, and it's important for people to be engaged. It's something I've been saying for the last few years. Like, we have to be active participants in our liberation. It's not like anybody's coming to save us. No aliens are coming to save us. Nobody's coming to save. If there's aliens, I guarantee you they're watching us right now to see how we're gonna handle this earth. Like, because there's no guarantees. You know what I'm saying? Humans might just blow up this earth, and that's a reality that we have to face. And so, if we're going to destroy, like really destroy this earth, it's going to be because we all humans decided that's what we want. And if we are going to save this earth for future generations, it's going to be because a certain percentage of humans decide that that's what they want to do. But no one's going to come save them. No, you can't save anybody from themselves. You know?
Right. Yes, that makes me think of first I want to say about the underground bunkers, right? That they've created, like these underground cities, like people with these major social media platforms, right? That this guy, they said that he built like a host of why? Like they know something we don't know,
and they're not telling.
And they're not telling us. That's one thing that I think. And then the other thing I think about is that we definitely have to be able to save ourselves, to be able to bring things out and manifest them in the way that we would like them to do. Because you're right, brother. Nobody's coming. Nobody cares, or anything like that. They don't care nothing, bro. So
no.
Yeah, but we're already ruining the planet. We're destroying it already. That's already happening. It's been happening. Like I could remember back in the 90s, I used to watch these documentaries about the planet and what they're doing. And I got to learn all kinds of things, bro, like about all the plastic that's in the ocean, right? They're forming these swirls of islands. That's how much plastic is in the oceans, man.
A continent worth of plastic.
Yes,
swirling.
And then there's people out there, they do it for free. They go get it and they bring it back for free. They're not even being paid to do it, bro.
Right.
Like no government, no.
And
they just feel like, hey, if we don't help ourselves around here, what, we waiting around for them to do it?
And those are the people that I'm talking. That's who I'm talking about. Those are the people that are changing this earth, bringing it back into harmony. Like having conversations like this. Hopefully that sparks somebody else who's, because even sometimes it's just a conversation. I'm gonna tell you a quick one. I learned that one of the heads of these, like FDA, World Health Organization, these type of people, right? They are interested in sound healing and frequency healing, right? So when they left that post, whichever one it was, they left that post and then discovered that sound healing, a certain type of sound healing can be used to cure long COVID, right? And we know long COVID and vaccine injury are basically the same. They're calling those one and the same. They're not really acknowledging vaccine injury, but they're the same thing. So how is it that someone who's in that type of position, who's not ever going to promote that from that position, is also interested in that and putting millions of dollars into studying that now?
Right.
Because now they're putting millions of dollars into studying sound healing and its efficacy. Right. So what conversation did he have? What experience did he have to be like, oh, let me call up some of my people and see if we can't get some funding behind this study? So that's what I'm saying. Even these conversations, the right person or the right group hears these conversations, and now they can go, have the next conversation with somebody. They might be in a position where it's like, hey, we could use this information to better the human race in real life.
Yeah. And perhaps go out and do it themselves. I mean, you already know, free energies all around, and people you could drive a car with water. That's been proven. That was been proven a long time ago, by the way, bro.
40, 50 years ago, at least.
Yeah. I've been see that, and they get rid of them cats too, because all you need to do is just fire the pistons, and that's it. You could run it on water. And tap water, you could throw in there.
Tap water, seawater, urine, anything.
Yeah.
And the technology you're talking about, that's Stanley Meyer was one of the people who really brought that to the forefront back in the 80s and obviously they took him out. But then Aaron Salter Jr., built on Stanley Meyer's technology, and built an engine. And actually there's a sludge that's created in there. He basically created a new form of fuel. And Aaron Salter Jr. just coincidentally was the security guard at the Buffalo shooting that was guarding the supermarket. And he shot the shooter, but the shooter was wearing body armor, ended up killing Aaron Salter Jr. But he had patents that were updated based on Stanley Meyer's technology. So there ain't no fluff on this show and on this network, ladies and gentlemen. Look into it. Because this is something, the technology is something that people can do in their garage. They can do it in their living room for less than $20. Get the materials to create the device to draw energy out of water.
Right. Yeah, not to mention, the radios, when radios were first made, all you needed was a crystal. All you needed was, and you would get the stations that would come in, and you would hear. That's all you needed. But the powers that be, they were like, oh no, we need to remove that, get rid of that. And then they started selling us the radios, the way you could tune in to different radio stations. But all you needed was a crystal, and you do it yourself. But they was like, they suppressed that. Then they started selling us that other stuff.
So I'm going to tell you what an old boss told me, because I don't know if he did ham radio. He did some kind of broadcast. It might have been a ham radio operator. And he was explaining to me that like you said, you swap out the different crystals. I was like, oh, you could put any crystal. He said, yeah, it's the crystals that get the frequency, right? I said, oh, so you could put any type of crystal in. He said, oh, no, you can't do that, because then you're going into other people's frequencies. You're going into government. You're going to other places. Like, it's very tightly, it's very tightly regulated. And you could maybe get a crystal or fashion one, but if you slip it in, you might be listening to a conversation you didn't expect to tap into. So what you're saying is exactly right. I didn't hear that part of it. But again, this what you call it, woo woo. This isn't woo woo we're talking about. This is the real world. This is the real world. That's amazing, that what you just said.
Yep. It's called a crystal radio uses a diode, originally a crystal detector to pick up AM radio stations, converting the radio waves energy into sound without any external power source like batteries. This simple passive device requires a long wire antenna, a diode, right? That's what you say? Diode to detect the audio modulation, and a high impedance earphone. The diode role is to demodulate the radio signal, allowing the weak signals captured by the antenna to be heard as sound. You could look it up.
And radio is what, like 200 years old, 150 years old? Right? Radio is old.
Yep.
Why isn't this common knowledge? Why wasn't I taught this I grew up in the 80s, okay? Why wasn't I had an AM FM radio all my life. Why wasn't I taught this as a child? This is like the basics of radio broadcasting.
Basics, bro. Yeah, that's right. Totally dependent on the powers that be. That's what's going on here, bro. Because if the shite was to hit the fan, bro, we wouldn't know. We wouldn't know how to farm. Listen, things happen right now. I couldn't even tell you which way I would walk to get to the nearest farm, bro. Then when I got there, like, I wouldn't know how to farm, the food, the seeds, the fertilizer, what year to do it, when do we pick, when do we harvest,
right.
And nothing like that.
And we can't now, because of the way the skies are covered. We can't even look to see, this season is coming. What happens? Okay, let's say shite hits the fan and now you're deep into it. You're a few years into it, right? How do you know when the seasons are changing? What day of the week is it? What month is it? You know what I mean? People get all spooky with astrology and all that stuff because, all that. But it's like, hold on. You could look at the stars and be like, okay, this star is moving into orbit. This constellation is moving, and okay, this season is coming. We know
Mm-hmm.
this season is coming because what the animals are doing, what Earth is doing, what the sky is doing, what the animals are doing. That's how
Yeah.
we know. It's like
Right.
everything is practical, everything is sacred.
Yeah. Yeah. You would have to hope and pray that there is a wise man with the knowledge in the village. You know what I'm saying? Really, because that's really what happened, right? If you know about the in ancient Kemet, the texts, when you read some of them, they'll tell you there was a catastrophe
Mhm.
and people, some people went in different directions and some people ended up there in that part of Africa right there, and they
Right,
started building. They had the knowledge. Some people had it, some people
right,
didn't. Some people who showed up was like, yo, I'm just here for the breakfast. What time is to eat?
right.
Like,
You know what I'm
you
saying?
know what
Like
I'm
I
saying? Like,
could
I'll do
lift things.
anything.
I
Y'all
could.
lift it, I'll help out. Yeah, like we'll raise a
Right,
family, let's go. But there were
right,
other ones who had the knowledge that came from places that they say that were called Atlantis and stuff
right,
like that.
right.
It's in the text. It's
It's
there. It's there, bro.
so the text you're talking about, I found out what the Edfu
Right.
text,
Yeah, the Edfu text.
the Edfu text. I think you mentioned it a few
Hmm.
months ago, but it's
Hmm.
like,
Hmm.
okay, the Edfu text, actually, I didn't know this. Like I had heard something about
Hmm.
this over the
Hmm.
years, but it finally clicked. Oh, the Edfu text really talked about this
Hmm.
world before people landed in Kemet, and like you said, they scattered all throughout the world. So that's
Hmm.
why we hear the legends in the Americas, we hear the legends in Kemet, we hear the legends in India, Southeast Asia, and all that stuff, because people were scattered across the earth and had to rebuild civilization.
Hmm.
If we had to rebuild civilization now, that shit would look like the Flintstones for the
Yeah,
next
for real.
5,000 years.
For
Because
real.
what type of discovery, for like, I was listening to Baba Kalindi EE talk, rest in power. he,
Rest in
he
power.
deals with the entheogens. So he's taking, 30, 40 grams of
Right.
mushrooms.
Right.
And he's explaining that mushrooms are technology, entheogens are technology. That's what you call so-called hallucinogenics.
Mhm.
Entheogens, that's another name for them, right? But
Right.
he explains that people were going into these realms through ancient times and then bringing back information and technology. And that's how you get something like the pyramids, because they're technology that serves a purpose. And we have yet in our modern time to realize that purpose,
Mhm.
because we are not interacting with those elms and with those realms in an open and public and codified manner.
Right, right, or even injecting it into the common conversation of humanity.
Mm,
They want to suppress it. That's why I believe that humans, many of us, have not discovered or rediscovered some of these things is because we just can't. Our concept of our minds are so boxed in, bro. Like, yeah, even if it was right in front of us, bro, we would just step right over it. We wouldn't even know. We can't.
exactly.
We can't. We don't have the language, neither the
Ooh,
mental comprehension for some of these things. And these are where, in my opinion, entheogens help a great deal.
right. Right. Because you have, with entheogens, you have individual experiences, but then you have ritual collective experiences,
Mhm, mhm.
people sharing experiences
Yeah.
that are not this material world. Like
Mhm,
we haven't even gotten to that place in society. We haven't gone back to that place yet where we're having these collective experiences
mhm.
that we can talk about and we understand them as, no, this is reality. This is what's really going on.
Right. Mhm. Right. You're
That's a
right.
whole other level. Like
Yeah.
what happens when we reach that plateau where you and I can both take a certain level of entheogens and be, oh,
Mhm.
you see that? Oh, okay, I see that.
Yeah.
You see that too.
This is
What
crazy.
is it? Let's talk
Yeah.
about it. Let's experience it. And then,
I did. I have learned about that where there was some study. If I'm not sure if we spoke about it, but that where they were doing some study where two people, groups of people, were taking these infusions and they actually met there. Like when they came back out, they was like, "Yeah, you was there," and he was like, "Yeah, I know, I saw you." Like that, bro.
Yes. And that goes, and that is like a great segue even as we go into our next show and our next shows, where
Mm.
we're going to be talking about religion. And my stance on religion right now is that these have become belief systems, but they were never meant to be systems of belief. They
Mhm.
were ways of interacting with the unseen world that people, they, however they were using to interact with them, it wasn't a belief system. They understood, no, this is reality, this is
Mhm.
my experience. And it was also because they were having shared experiences.
Right. Right, for sure. And there's so much to say about that. And what I'll say, how I feel about that, is you're just gonna have to wait for the next show.
Mm. Can I give them a teaser? Can I give them a teaser?
Go ahead, give him some fire because I think I might too. Go ahead.
Right. So this book right here, The Healing Wisdom of Africa, this is one of the books. I cut my teeth on this book. This is one of the books where,
Mm,
like, when I was coming into awareness, it really opened my eyes to what spirituality
mm,
is, what our
mm,
when we're searching for our purpose and all that. It's
mm,
written by Mali Doma Patrice Somé, rest in
mm,
power. He just transitioned a few years ago. A lot of the
mm,
people who inspired me transitioned since 2020, which to me is mind blowing.
mm,
You know,
mm,
Dr.
mm,
Sabi
mm,
went out, I think, before 2020, but that he
mm.
was another one of them. So
Okay.
this from page 2, and he's from the Dagara people in Burkina Faso. He says the Dagara people are well known throughout West Africa for beliefs and practices that outsiders find both fascinating and frightening. The
Mm,
Dagara connection with beings from the spirit world has resulted in the accumulation of first-hand knowledge of subjects regarded in the West as paranormal, magical, or spiritual. Dagara science, quote unquote science, in this sense, is the investigation of the spirit world more than the world of matter. What in the West might be regarded as fiction, among the Dagara is believed as fact, for we have seen it with our eyes, heard it with our ears, or felt it with our own hands. The
mm,
stories I tell often sound to Western ears fantastic, for hearers lack the advantage of the comprehensive investigations into the interplay of spirit and matter that
mm,
characterize the Dagara and many other African peoples. And
mm,
so it's what you're saying, where these are people who have experienced this in real, like they've experienced this reality, and
mhm.
so there is no belief system about it.
Mhm, 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 mhm. I see. That's deep. I'm looking forward to the next one, bro. I really
Yeah,
am. And I'm glad that we jumped in for, I said we'll stick around for 10
right,
minutes and
right,
we're here almost 25. I'm on
right.
fire, bro. I feel
Um,
the flame. I know
well,
you know me. That's why
right.
you said, you know what? Yeah, let's just go. And
Yeah,
that's it. That's it.
yeah.
We just go. It's fine. It's fine. Trust me. It's something that I'm super passionate about,
Hmm.
and it burns a deep fire in me, um,
Right.
especially when it comes to the belief systems. And what I will say about all of that is that I'm always fascinated by that subject, because here is something that people are not even 100%. They're not 100%. They're not, but yet they're willing to do things, right? Humans have killed, murdered, maimed, enslaved other peoples just for something that they believe in. You don't even know. You're not
Yeah.
sure. You'd be like, oh, because the book says, yeah, you see, that's way out. You need to study the books. There was older books that and other things, but
Right.
it fascinates me how humans would go and hurt other people, do the most tragic things. Did you know that humans have killed other humans more than any other wars combined?
Mm.
In the name of God, there's been more, yeah, in
Yes.
than all wars combined, bro.
Yes, I believe
Yeah,
it.
you see,
Because
so.
I mean, wars up until modern times only impacted, men that were fighting for the most part. But in the
Mm-hmm,
last few hundred years, and especially in the
oof.
last, since the
Mm-hmm.
World War started, now women and children were fair game.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody's getting it. Yeah, it's just
Everybody.
crazy. In the name of God, you hear them how they talk all that rhetoric and all that. Oh man, thank God. Yes, God's on our side. And then I get these people telling me, "Oh, you believe that? Oh, thank God. Oh, God heard our prayers." And then I tell them, "Wait a minute. What about them on that side? They're not praying too?
Right.
They're not praying. They're not praying to God, to the same God, because there's only one God. They're praying to the same God too.
God is like every prayer is like a vote in an election. You know what I'm saying? If
Yeah.
God is working for this side, okay, they won the election this time. But if the tide turns and now
You
this
know,
side is
yeah,
praising,
that now it's Democrat. It
right?
was Republican yesterday. Not today.
Not
Not
today.
today.
Not today.
Oh man, it's just way out. People just don't. So that's why I feel that it's important for us to get together and have these deeper conversations. I have a ton of information
Hmm.
for us to share, and now you've lit a fire under me to start getting my books. I was just I have one here called Ancient Egypt, and other ones that I have also that have to do with these belief systems, and
Mm.
according to what mainstream scholars state,
Right.
so and then versus what are the ancients saying,
I'm
so
looking forward to it, bro. I'm looking
me too.
forward talking about ancient Egypt. I have Stolen Legacy on deck. I,
Mm,
mm, Stolen
that's
Legacy where it
fire.
goes Memphite theology, which is one of the oldest theologies that we have right now.
Oh man, that's
Hmm.
beautiful. That's
Right.
beautiful. There's so much to be said. I was on a podcast yesterday. Um, Hank,
Ooh,
right? Brother Hank.
shout out to brother Hank.
Shout out to Brother Hank. Shout out to Nicholas Brooklyn, Sister Cafunia, Rebel Star. You can find her on the
Hmm.
Instagram. And we were talking about a lot of things, and I was letting out some of these things about the different healing modalities that we practice and how it's really ours, right? It's
Hmm.
they're selling it back to us.
Yep.
They're making these certifications. And I had one brother say, "Oh, why don't you go get the certified?" I was like, "Bro, for what, bro?" He made that. He just said, "This is and give me $3,000, $5,000." And I'm like, that you're not, yeah. I'm like, you're not studying it. It's all the information's there.
Right. Especially
All
when you see these new certifications, like these are people who are going and studying our ancient material, and like you said,
Mhm.
selling it back to us.
Yeah, yeah. It
For
belongs to us.
here are two. I'll just this one,
Mhm.
Tuning the Human Biofield. This is an excellent book, right?
Mm,
Excellent book is dealing with the. You can see it's got the what do you call it? The tuning forks on it. I've been using the
mhm,
tuning forks lately in the
mhm,
last couple
mhm,
of months. Powerful results. And
mm,
biogeometry. Biogeometry, this is an Egyptian architect, scholar who is again, he's going to the Kemetic temples and looking at the symbols, and he developed a system of measuring energy
mm,
and using symbols. And he even shows you how to, gives you a rough idea of how to use these different shapes. I don't even want to call them symbols, but shapes,
mm,
shapes
mm.
to
Sacred,
to
sacred geometry.
to align and influence the energy of an environment. He
Mm,
used this technology, this biogeometric signatures. He used it
mm,
to basically save a town from they were being bombarded. They put up all these quote unquote cell phone towers. They were
mm,
being bombarded by people who were getting sick. And he used this technology and put it all over the town and worked in different ways to basically save this town
mm.
from these negative biogeometric signatures.
Ooh.
In real, and this is like it's called like the miracle of Hamburg or something like that. It was in
Right.
Hamburg, Sweden, I think,
Mm,
not Germany. I think it was Hamburg, Sweden, something like that. So this is
fascinating.
yes, you know what I'm saying. So this is again, they're selling our technology back to us. They're selling
Mm,
our
mm,
information back to us. And go
mm.
ahead, brother.
I was going to mention before there was something that I had to pull up, and I wanted to make sure that I said it right. And it's called the Edwin Smith Papyrus, and this is a document of
Yes,
from right. It's
go
an
ahead, talk
ancient
about it.
for 3,500 years ago BCE. It mentions the use of cold for therapeutic purposes for healing. And then they start getting into like the ancient Greeks that they, the father of medicine used cold, and I'm like, man, you know where they got the information from. So why you even
Stolen legacy. They say
yeah,
that they don't. The ancient Greeks didn't hide where they got the information. They were
right? That's what I say exactly. That's why I say don't believe me. They tell you themselves.
they were proud to say we
They
studied
hide
in
that.
Kemet. Right.
Right. But they hide that. They don't
Yeah.
mention that. They go, "Oh, he's
Right.
the father of mathematics," and no, he's not, bro.
No.
Of medicine, no, he's
No.
telling you.
No.
I had learned somewhere that it could take up to like 20 years to get into one of those mystery schools in ancient Kemet. They
Right.
wasn't letting anybody in. I mean, you
No.
wouldn't. Why? If you knew how to build a nuclear bomb, are you just gonna teach it to everybody who just come knock on the door and pay their tuition? Nah,
Absolutely
man.
not.
Nah, you be like, nah, you ain't coming in, bro. Nah.
Right. So I'm gonna bring this full circle even more, because you know how I would talk about how I can see semblances of the Kemetic systems and so many other systems, right? What would people do in ancient times if they wanted to go study kung fu with the Shaolin masters? They'd have
Mm,
to go out there. You told me about this too, right?
right.
With the Vipassana, I believe it was. You have
Yeah.
to go and you might have to sit on the monastery
Yeah.
steps, and you might have to
Yep.
kneel there for days and nights and not move, and prove that you have the
Mhm.
mettle to actually begin the training, right?
It's a famous school in I believe it's in Japan, or might have been China. I can't remember, but I had seen a documentary. It's a very famous one. Been there for like, oh man, hundreds if not thousands of years. But yeah, the woman went and she said she went in front of the door like that and prostrated right there, and wanted to come into to learn that. And man, they left her there. She said she was there for days, man. But you got to stay there. Don't eat, no bathroom, no nut. Stay, man. You dedicated, man. That's the
Right,
only way you're gonna get to learn the secrets, man. Come
right.
on.
Where did they get that?
Hmm.
Where did they get that practice?
Right,
You're
right.
telling you just told me that they 20 years, just the admission process was 20 years. You wait, that means you come to Kemet, you got to walk over the burning sands,
Right.
right? And you got to come to Kemet. And mind you, when the Greeks came, there was only a little corner. It's not like they were running all through the country. There was a little corner by the water, by the edge of the country, where they would come, and they might be hanging out there for 20 years just to be
Right.
admitted
Yep.
into the
Hmm.
schools that
Yep.
we now call mystery schools.
Right, right. Because I had the opportunity to go to Kemet and went to many to the Efu temple, to the Temple of Man. We went to Dendera. Dendera is where they had the light bulb. That
Yes.
they that some modern day scholars say, oh no, that's all just symbolic. The snake and the lotus flower with the holding generators like in the hand, bro. Come on, man. Like, oh, they're way
It's
out.
funny.
They're looking exactly like we use now in modern
Yes.
energy. They was doing it.
Right.
So
And how much of our modern energy was inspired by that?
yeah.
That's another part that we don't know. Because remember, they were tomb raiding heavily in the 1800s. If you think about from Napoleon's time, especially, right? That's
Mhm.
late 1700s, early 1800s,
Mhm.
where they're just tomb raiding. They're going there all over, right? Then
Yep.
all of a sudden, in the next 50, 60 years, now we have electricity,
Yep.
radio,
Yep.
the
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
coincidence, right?
Coincidence.
Y'all didn't have
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
before that, but you
Nope.
come out of Kemet and now you
Yep.
have it.
Yep. Meanwhile, they raising the flag. We discovered it. We've got it. Yeah, Mr. Smithers,
Right,
Johannesburg. Yeah, man. Come on,
right.
man.
I don't know. I think there's a gap. I think there's a gap in there. And I'd like to look at Nikola Tesla. He was open about his stuff, right? He told
Mm-hmm.
you where he got it. He got it from, he was inspired certain things by Kemet. He was inspired by
Mm-hmm.
meditations. He got a lot of revelations. He did a lot of meditation and prayer. And a lot of information
Yeah.
came to him when
And who
he was,
knows? And who
right.
knows what else? And who knows what else? See, because
Thank you,
they're
brother.
hiding these things
They,
too.
right. We don't know what he was eating.
Right. You don't know. Yeah,
You
maybe
know,
he's like he maybe he tapped into that herb and or that lifted his consciousness and he goes, this is the one. This is what's helping me right here. But
right?
they're not gonna tell us that. No,
Nope.
they try to erase him altogether. You think they're gonna be talking to man, please, man? They ain't gonna say
A
nothing.
lot of people think Tesla's the car. They think that's Elon Musk's
I
brainchild.
know. Yeah. Yeah. That's old. That's old. The electric car, please listen, man. That's old. That been out. They already did that. The majorly, they had it like in the 80s and they squashed it. They got
My
rid of that. They were like, no, no.
my uncle years ago, he told me this was back in like late 90s, early, probably in the early 2000s. He said he went to the World's Fair in the 1950s. He said, I saw an electric car in the 1950s.
Look at
He
that.
said, and this
Look
was
at that.
before electric cars really came out. He said, I still ain't seen it yet. I'm still waiting for the electric car to come out. I saw
Yeah.
that at the World's Fair in the 50s.
Right. Yeah, it's just when they want to do it and all that. But getting back to Nicholas Tesla, you already know that he started talking about this high level things that he was learning with from different dimensions and different whatever name you want to put on it. And they
Right.
said he would show up at the board meeting and they started moving their chair away from him because they was like, no, this is way out. His information's good. We'll take that.
We'll take
You
the
know,
info, but we don't like him. We don't want him near us. But give me those papers,
maybe those
Nicola.
papers, yeah. You
Yeah.
already know because when I learned about him, I was like, "Oh, this guy's my hero."
Oh my
But
gosh.
when
Yeah.
he passed on nearly broke. He was living in Manhattan in some hotel room or stuff
Yeah.
like that.
I think it was the New York. I think it was the
Yeah,
Hotel New York
yeah,
or the
yeah.
Hotel
But they said
Pennsylvania.
when they found out he transitioned, oh man, they, like within the hour they was in the room and they snatched it all up. And then when by the family showed up like an hour and a minute after, they said
Mhm.
the place was ransacked. And then they started said, "Hey, there's papers missing here." And then they had to fight the government for years. And when they got the papers back, they were all redacted. Oh,
Right. Again, Tomb Raiders. This is what they
yep,
do.
yeah,
Tomb
yeah,
Raiders. That's
yeah,
what they're good at.
yeah. It's like we need this. Yeah,
Right. Oh, this could help
okay,
humanity. This.
yeah. But his story is fascinating. I love
Mhm.
because we shared that before about being a history buff, and I love the
Yes.
history. I love these stories where he was here in New Jersey. I think
Mhm.
is it Edison, New Jersey? Because they named it
Oh, right.
Edison.
Maybe Edison. Right.
Yeah, he made the tower, which is the equivalent
Yes.
of the Great Pyramids in um there in Egypt, in Kemet, where there's a water aquifer underneath, and there's
Mhm.
this station where they're pulling in frequencies and all that, where
Mhm.
he was putting light bulbs into the earth, and they were turning on. He had Wi-Fi, everything.
Wireless
And then
elect.
when they came to him, his benefactors, Westinghouse and the other cats,
Mhm.
they said, "Where's the meter so we could be charging people?" He's like, "Nah,
Right.
I'm not charging people. Now I'm giving this away for free."
Right.
They said the next day, that's it. They tore it down. They was like, "Nah, no, we're not
Right.
doing that." No.
See, that's crazy. That you talking about? I think you're talking about Warden Cliff Tower.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
Wardenclyffe Tower.
yeah,
Mhm.
and that right there. When those old movies, the black and white movies, and they'd be like, in the year 2000, you see the flying cars and everything. I think if we stayed on that same trajectory and the Nikola Tesla trajectory, we would have the flying cars, we would have all that stuff. But they stopped that because think of the people who were witnessing Tesla and being inspired by what he was doing
Yeah.
and who said, "Oh, I could do something." Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like you see something and then it awakens something in your DNA and in your psyche. This is what happens.
Mhm. Mhm.
Brother,
Mhm.
yeah, I just got sent the video and I'm glad I saved it. There's a brother in Malawi,
Mhm.
Edward, I can't remember his last name, teenager who,
Oh, mhm.
did you see it?
I did.
He is he is pulling electricity from the air. He is able to power
Mm.
several homes and buildings in his
Mm.
village, pulling the energy from the air.
I think that's another something other video that I saw, but maybe I've seen that one. But that's how he's doing it.
Yeah. and he's not saying how he's doing it, but they said he's over able to pull with one of his generators. He's able to pull 1,000 volts of power, which is able to power 9 homes in his village.
Electricity can be generated from the air by harnessing its natural humidity through devices containing nanoporous material that create a sustained charge imbalance similar to a contained cloud.
Now, where did you go for that information?
Just a Google.
Now you see, did the Google AI come up?
It did.
And all of a sudden they're going to act like, yeah, you can pull energy from the air.
Yeah.
Whereas if we asked that question a few years ago, they're going to tell you you're crazy. No, you can't
Yeah.
do that.
No, you can't.
Pull
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
from the
Yeah.
air. You see that they want to be, and maybe that's the AI doing its thing, you know. And this is why when we use AI, we need to use it intelligently, because there's a lot of, we can do a lot of hacks. We can hack this reality with AI, but we also, if we lean on it too much, then we're going to become slaves to it. It's already happening. They're doing the studies, and people using AI so much that their brains aren't working anymore.
Right.
I don't mean to laugh, but it's
Right.
really happening.
Right. So look, I'm really happy and proud that we're on this show, man. It makes me feel good. I feel you. I see you. You're a different beast. I love it, bro. I love it. You know, but I will say this also, that being that we're here on the Wake Up Radio, that there's these deeper things that are going on, and that's what the Clarity Code is all about. We're just getting clear on some of these things.
Yes.
So you make me think of all the patents, right? You see? So it's the same thing, bro. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. They got, the complexion, talking about, oh yeah, he had 85 patents, and oh wow, he was a genius. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't, because he had a whole crew of colored folks behind him, great imaginations, great thinkers, great creators, but they couldn't put the patent out. They couldn't. They were not allowed, bro.
They weren't. No, and their patents would just be stolen a lot of the time.
Right. Yeah. You had to get the guy to put his name on it, and then it was his.
Right.
That was it. Once you said, go ahead, and it was out in the world, yeah, he got the credit for it over there.
Right. How do we know about, is it Edison that created the light bulb?
Supposedly.
Right. But how do we not know about Lewis Latimer, who created the filament so that the light bulb would actually burn and not burn out?
Exactly.
Lewis Latimer, the same one who created the third rail.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have MTA. We wouldn't have the subway if it weren't for Lewis Latimer.
Yeah. Or anything. The whole society that we live in was built on the railroads, bro. Come on, everything, bringing shipments and all. And how do we not know?
Right.
How do we not know? It's crazy. At least we should know. At least if they're going to take it. No, but you see, but there's power in that, bro.
At the very least, right?
Right. But they know that there's power.
There is.
Because once you know that a person that looks like me and you can do these things, then you know that, well, I could do it too. They don't want that.
Right. Right. And I want to give this brother his flowers now. His name is Ernest Andrew in Malawi. Ernest Andrew. Ladies and gentlemen, look him up. Make what he's doing go viral. Because we talked about what happens to people, and I'm not gonna be coy and act like they don't do things to people. But his name is Ernest Andrew, and this is his power generation is at least a year old. He's been doing this for at least a year. I'm seeing videos going back at least a year. I just heard about this yesterday.
And now that I'm looking, I don't think I've seen this at all. He's an 18-year-old dropout of school in his village using a self-made air power generator, bypassing the use of fuel, oil, or any of that garbage, bro. Wow, just stunning, bro, stunning. Stunning.
Yep.
They'll suppress it. They'll
There's
suppress
another one. Maxwell Chikumbutso. He's from Zimbabwe. Maxwell Chikumbutso. He's the one that has the self-powered EV, electric vehicles. He's also created not just vehicles, he's created helicopters, he creates generators. You can actually buy one of his generators and have it shipped to whatever country
Look
that
at
you're
that.
in. And these generators, I mean, you'll never have to pay for
Right.
fuel again.
We shouldn't.
You'll never have to pay for electricity again if you hook up one of these generators in
Wow.
your home. Okay? You can set up a generator bank if you have, let's say, a warehouse or a business, and power your whole business off of this and never have to pay the utility bill again.
The devils, man. The devils.
There's a brother in Atlanta or in Georgia, I think it's Julian Brown. He goes by Jab. What's his name? Jab. I'll see if I can find his name real quick. But this young man, this is the one that's converting plastic into fuel, plastic into gasoline, plastic into Nature Jab. That's what he goes by. Nature Jab on Instagram. Check him out. He's on many platforms. Nature JAB _. And he's got products as well. But Nature Jab, he's created a whole machine over time. You saw him start with the little thing. He done lit himself on fire one time, almost blew up. You understand? Had second-degree burns, something like that. Now his skin has gone from dark to white on his ankles because of it. But he's created a machine that turns plastic into gasoline. And his part of his aim is to make this accessible so that we have this in our homes.
Sorry about that.
So that we have this in our homes. Cool. And so, like this guy's in America. He's like 22 years old, bro. He's a 22-year-old young man who's turning plastic into gasoline.
My goodness. I've seen, I remember back in the days, I've seen some documentaries also about that gasoline, how people had superseded the whole process of, instead of getting petroleum, doing in these other things. And there's some people, we don't know their names, but we know the proof that they found the guy in the desert, supposedly drunk and with pills, and meanwhile he never had a drink in his life and all that, right? And then one of the stories was where this other guy was working on that in another part of the US too, and then he said he was somewhere, and a guy came to him and went, "Hey man, did you hear about that guy or whatever?" And he said, "What are you talking about?" "Oh yeah, that he was doing this thing and they got rid of him, man." Wow, that's crazy. He should have been careful. And then the mystery guy just walked off, and he said after that was it. He didn't mess with it no more.
Yeah. Well, this young man, the 22-year-old, he was just facing threats. He disappeared for a couple weeks, and people thought that they finally got to him because he was being intimidated. He had black helicopters flying over his thing. He had people hacking it. Yeah, they did the helicopters. He had people hacking into his accounts. Why?
Right.
This is a kid. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's a grown man, but he's a 22-year-old kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why y'all messing with this young man? Right? And so he disappeared for a little while, and people got nervous. But it got to the point where it reached the Daily Mail, where they said, "What happened to Julian Brown?" Or I think that's his last name, Julian Brown. They said, "What happened to him?" And then finally he and his mother came out and said, "No, I'm okay. But because of what was happening, we had to take some security measures." This just happened in the last 2 weeks that he finally came back on, and he's back at it again. So it's like, we have these people who are doing this wonderful work, brother. And, to me, again, this is what the Clarity Code is about, right? This is what On the Wake Up Radio is about, bringing these conversations to the forefront. This ain't about belief systems. This ain't about any of that other stuff. It's like we got to push the envelope. We got to push this information. And, Nipsey Hussle, I was a big fan of Nipsey Hussle. when he got killed. I was a big fan of him. I was quietly just a
Mhm.
Nipsey fan because I
Mhm.
liked what he was
Mhm.
doing. The music was I
Mhm.
liked his
Mhm.
music, but
Mhm.
beyond that, he was funding STEM programs. He was funding programs in his community. He was buying up real estate. And I feel like when someone kind of has too many check boxes, that's when they
Mm.
eliminate them. It's like, he's a
Right.
rapper. He's all right, man. Let him say what he wants as a rapper. Oh, you buying real estate? Oh, you buying real
Mm.
estate that we want. Oh, you
Right.
buying opportunity
Yeah. Yeah.
zone real estate
Mm.
when we're
Right.
trying to do our
Yeah.
revitalization,
Mm.
our
Mm.
gentrification.
Mm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, you're teaching,
Mm.
oh, you're putting money behind
Mhm.
STEM programs.
Yeah. Mm.
You know what I mean? So I think he checked too many boxes, and that's why they took him out. But one thing with Nipsey, right? After he passed, what does everyone say? They say keep the marathon going, keep the
Mm.
marathon alive. That does to me. That doesn't mean buy his clothing brand. Nipsey, it wasn't
Mhm.
about
Mhm.
that. Nipsey was about. He says, "Start grinding, stop stargazing."
Mm.
That was one line in his thing. He wanted you to grind. He wanted you to do
Mhm.
what you do and move. That's how you keep the
Mhm.
marathon going. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying with what we're doing. It's like it's not about sitting here and
Mm.
pontificating and wondering and belief system. Nah,
Mhm.
man. Like be
Mhm.
inspired. Be
Okay.
inspired to do something great. We wanted Omar and I. We talk about how we want to do
Mhm.
something great.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? That's what
Right.
we're doing here. And we want to encourage you all, the listener, to do something great. If you have a passion for something, if you have a technology that you
Mm.
want to bring forth, now's the
Mm.
time to bring it forth. Now's the time to do it.
Mm.
Don't wait
Mm.
for nothing. Now's the time to do it.
Yes, thank you for that, brother. Just recently, I had taken in a book. I did take in the War of Art, right, by Pressfield. But there's the other guy
Mm,
too that I can't remember his name right now. He's another creator too. But I was learning some of these things that when the universe, God, or whatever you want to call it, gives you this idea or this something that you supposed to bring forward, you know, if you don't do it, it'll just choose someone else. Like it's meant to come out no matter what, So what why not let it be you? You see? That's what he was saying. Like, yeah, why not? Why not? Why not you? Why? What makes you think that you're not the one? It can be. You are the one. You are the one.
right. So
Yes, go
may,
ahead.
may I may I go back
Yeah,
to the great
go
Molly
ahead. Go
Doma,
ahead,
Patrice
please. Please.
Somé? Because this is gonna come up in when we go back to the subject. But so page three. Page
Mhm.
three. Dagra believed that everyone is born with a purpose and that this purpose must be known in order to ensure an integrated way of living. People ignorant of their purpose are like ships adrift in a hostile sea. They are circling around. As a result, tribal practices emphasize the discovery before birth of the business of the soul that is coming to the world. A person's purpose is then embodied in their name, thus constituting an inseparable reminder of why the person walks with us here in this
Mm.
world, right? So if your name, Momar, is Inspire Greatness, every time I call, hey, Inspire Greatness, well, we going over
Right.
to the store? Inspire Greatness. What time is, hey, Inspire Greatness, what time is
Yeah.
it? I'm going to call up my man,
Right.
Inspire
Inspire
Greatness, real quick.
greatness. What are we doing today? Inspire greatness.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me,
Yeah.
bro? Like, these are the systems that were put
Mm.
in place to ensure civilization moves forward.
Mm.
This is what was destroyed with
Mm.
colonization. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like this is why I'm so
Right.
passionate about what I'm doing. You know what
Right.
we're doing because the little understanding that I have
Mm.
about these things, I'm
Mm.
like, damn. If everybody knew this, imagine the step that we could
Right.
all take forward. It's cool if people stepping forward, but what if we all linking arms and we all take that one step forward? Okay, everybody's here for a purpose. You know, everybody, we all here for a purpose. Okay, we all know we're here
Right.
for a purpose.
Right.
Step forward.
Right. Right. You're right. You're right. And I was thinking about the book that I was listening to. It was an audio book. I'm trying to find it right now. But getting back to your point, what you're saying exactly, when people are sleeping, right? What wakes people up? A sound, right? That's what wakes people up. It's your alarm
Okay.
or the dog barking or a door that opens, right? So why can't we be that
Right.
sound that wakes people up? That noise, that word, that door slamming, or I mean,
Ooh,
however form that we put it into, we could put it in any form, bro, in any form that we
right.
want to. Oh, it's Rick Rubin's book. Rick Rubin, he's another creator too, right?
Ooh,
Trying to think of his book right here that he's made some books, but I know that
okay.
Rick Rubin. It's about creativity and opening your mind and stuff like that, you know. Um, the creative universe. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. That's another good book that people should look into of Rick Rubin, including the other one by Pressfield, The War of Art. That way you could get those creative juices flowing. You know, maybe it's the song
Mm-hmm.
that you want to put out or some protocol for, helping the world heal in some way. Or maybe it's just writing a book. And oftentimes we think like, man, why should I put out a book? There's like 50 billion books out here, bro. Yeah, but your book's not out there. And you don't know what
Right.
lives it's going to change. It's just like this conversation that we're having, Cam. We don't know the impact that it has on
Right.
people. You see people calling you up and telling you, yeah, you might get some people say, man, I really like that, man. Y'all doing some good stuff. But many times you don't hear anything, bro. Yeah. It
Right.
just their lives are impact, bro.
Right.
Like I do yoga. I get yoga off of YouTube, you know. I find
Mm-hmm.
I when I first started doing yoga, I found a woman who was doing it, and I loved what she was doing, and she was pushing people, say, "Hey, I got this 30-day program free." And I was there. I did my 30 days. I was like, man, and they worked. Then she had a 90-day. I did the 90. And I was just, telling people about it and pushing her message and it was helping me in such a high level, bro. And then I got the news that she transitioned. I was like, oh,
Wow.
wow. I was hurt by that, Cam, because I was like, she helped me, man. She changed my life. She never even known.
Right.
She was so, I don't know, loving, and she was doing retreats and all of that. And then I looked it up because I try to look up when these things happen, like what happened to her? Did she get ill or
Mm-hmm.
something? And then the family didn't want to say. And then me and a friend had
Oh,
shared, this yoga teacher, and I had told him, wow, man, yeah, she transitioned. That's terrible. But I said I looked it up, and they didn't want to say. And he said, well, the reason why usually people don't say is because that person supposedly, took themselves out. That's why they don't say. They
mm,
will not release. Why? Because they could have just said, "Oh yeah, they
mm,
had a sickness or whatever." Nah, they don't.
right.
Normally, if they don't say it's because, and then that really boggled me, bro. I was like, "What?" She was into yoga, man. She helped. She was so passionate about something. She helped you change my life and helped to change like countless
Right.
people's lives, man. But I say this
Right.
story, Cam, to
Mm,
just let people know, like, hey, make your mark, man. You don't want to be here in this realm and do nothing. Like, just go to work, pay the bills, and like, what's your impact, man? I don't know where that is,
right.
helping kids or, I don't know. I don't know. Drawing or writing or poetry or just put it out there, man. Put it out there, bro. Put it out there.
Right. Right. Put it out there, folks. I'm telling you, brother. That man, that's
Mhm.
that's
Yep.
so real. That's so real, bro. Thank you for
Well,
sharing that.
that's why we should also, let people know too. That's why I tell you, Cam, I see
Yeah,
you. I see you, brother. I see you.
right.
I let you know. I
Likewise,
let
bro.
you know. Let you know. I see
I
you.
see you
Not see
too,
you.
brother.
I see you, bro. So if
Mhm.
people can dig
Yeah,
that, we should
yeah,
let people know, man, for sure.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. brother, man. You know, we were gonna stay 10,
That's
15,
an
20
hour.
minutes.
That's it. That's all I got. And the kids, they're quiet back there. I gotta go find out what's going on, man. Listen,
I know.
man, I go back there and they probably painted
It's-
up the rooms another colors.
my brother, I thank you so much, man, because I wasn't even expecting the
No.
convo to go this way after that. You know, because you hit me with the oh man,
Right.
I can't even
Yep.
do the show after
Yep.
that. So it's like folks got
Yeah.
to see the internal
Mhm.
dialogue, the voice in the head, and then they got to see what happens
Yeah.
when we
And
bring
it's
it
on now.
together.
I'm
And
with the clarity code. Like I just feel like I'm a full member. Yeah, he's a good guy. Don't worry, we can trust him. Let him in. Let him in. Give him that other thing. You know the thing. Yeah, give it. Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's good.
I love you,
Love you
brother. I
too. I
do,
adore
man.
you. I do. I do.
Man. Yeah, bro.
Um,
So
let's find out how I could close this show.
first off,
Yes.
the
Yep.
plugs,
Right.
man. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Make sure.
We are the Omziel Healing Sanctuary. Omziel is OMZIEL. Omziel Healing Sanctuary.com. That's our website. You could go to the menu and see the events and other things that we're doing there. We do breath work and with an ice plunge, which is super powerful. The internet is chock full of information on how that benefits humans. In addition to that, we do men's retreats. We just had one recently locally. We've done many, many, many local ones. We had our first international retreat last year, which I'm planning one. I was going to do it this year, but we need more time. So I'm going to do it next year, like in February or March. We're going somewhere sweet, man. The last one we did, we went to the tropics. I got a smoking place overlooking the beach, clear crystal water. We had the pool, we had the jacuzzi. We went hiking. You know, we went to a waterfall. We went. Oh man, we ate great food. We smoked great cigars and all that. Um, so we're doing
Mm,
that. We're also doing the Purple Sage Festival, and that's what I want to leave you with on September 21st. We're having the Purple Sage Festival. What is this? This is a gathering of like minds, energetic food, high energy beverages, like at least a dozen musician bands, groups. We have dance groups that are performing there as well. And then we have other, massage energy workers, Reiki workers, crystal, amulets. We have a tattoo artist. He's performing sacred tattoos. His name is Toto, and yeah, he
mm,
had he had at least a half a dozen people up in his chair. Yeah, he did. And henna, another woman performing henna as well. Uh, you know, Different textiles coming from the Amazon with beads and earrings, and now we have a whole bunch of other people that are coming through as well, and there's different ceremonies that happen. There's an open mic. Oh my god, it's located in Newport, New York, on the Stone Mountain Farm. You can look them up. You could see the owners, that they're high level thinkers. They're open to all this. The owner, Dr. Larson, he's written several books, and he studied under Joseph Campbell. If you know who, yes, exactly. If you know Joseph Campbell
mm.
and the
Wow.
hero's journey, right? And how he tied in all of these belief systems are saying the same thing. It's all pointing to the same thing, and that hero's journey that we all have. We go down to the dark depths of the cave of the 40 days in the desert. Like, it just goes on. That's
Mm,
what's the greatest
right,
story ever
right.
told. It's the greatest
Mm-hmm.
story. But then we rise in 3 days from the dead. We rise. We're born again. You must be born again. It's the same
Yep,
story, which leading into our next podcast. But that's what we're having. September
yep.
21st. Come on down, hit me up, and I'll leave it at that.
Awesome. And again, I'm Cameron. ARMew, you can check me out at armew.com. We're doing quantum healing over there. Quantum healing, my business is ARMew, Axial Release Massage and Energy Works. And at this point, it's beyond massage, it's beyond energy work. We're doing quantum healing. I mean, people are going into past, present, and future lives to really dig into their problems. They're going into the technology of their bodies. I'm just guiding them
Mm,
through it, really. and I'm using massage and energy work as a vehicle. We're doing sound healing, we're doing Reiki, we're doing massage, we're doing stretching, and then get unstuck, get unblocked. I've had a lot of people coming to me talking about they have these blockages or they're finding themselves in loops and cycles. And so it's like, okay, how do you get out of that loop? How do you get out of that cycle? I'm not going to tell you how, you're going to tell yourself how, and we're going to do it together on the table. In a nutshell, that's what's going on over there. And I will be at the Purple
That's right,
Sage
September
Festival.
21st, man. Thank you so much. And I know you're gonna bring the fire, because I was on the table. You had me there for the first time, bro, and I'm still integrating the information that I've received. And you already know you had me crying like a baby, like, oh man, it was everything. You had me laughing, you had me everything. So thank you much, much needed, brother. Okay.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, brother. Yeah. So, folks, you know what it is. It's the Clarity Code. We're on onthewakeupradio.com. Check us out. Become a subscriber on the Wake Up Radio. See what we're doing over there. And if you want to host a show, reach out to us. Reach out to myself, super producer Cindy Ashby, and, get in the conversation. You have something to say, and this is the place to say. You will not be censored. We do not lean left or right. We are human.
Let's do it. I love it. Okay, I found the button here. End stream. So yeah. Thank you. Huge shout out to super producer Cindy Adams. Right.
Huge
on
shout
the
out.
Wake Up Radio.